Good Wednesday morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. As you're waking up, you're going to find yourself probably amongst some fog today. That should be with us through about 9 a.m. this morning. So drive careful. Leave a little bit earlier than you normally do. We'll look at radar here in just a moment. Pull that up to show you just how much is out there. It's a good bit, so drive careful, and most of all, leave a little bit early. Allow that extra time on your travels today. Another big event, we'll be talking to the church this morning, but this is going on today. The Kentucky Ham Meal going on from 6:30. It's opening doors now, and this will go until, I believe, 1:30 today. So we'll be talking with them. If you want a great lunch, it goes to help a lot of people in the area. Different charity organizations is what they do with that. Grits, eggs, it's great. Good old Kentucky ham in with that, too. Great price. I think it's $10. And they'll help you out there at the church. Can't miss that in downtown Meridian on 23rd. Again, we'll talk to the preacher and all those who have pitched in to help with that program this year. It's always big, and again, it does go to help those in need. As I mentioned, we have a little bit of fog out there as we pull up radar here to take a look as we go over to Meridian Honda radar. Look at this. Down from Quitman, Jasper County, all the way to the Gulf Coast is a dense fog advisory. Now, although there is not an advisory for Lauderdale County or York, Alabama, Demopolis, still a lot of fog as we zoom in on this. As we turn this in a little bit closer to show you the locations of where the worst of the fog is, this is going to cut across in between Rainbow Lakes and Tumsuba. It'll cut just due north of where Whanot is, right there near the Alamucha Volunteer Fire Department, across by Northeast High School, over taking in Chet's Paint and Body and West Lauderdale High School, and all into Kemper County. Look at all of that fog we've got. Now, the center, the very worst of what we've got is on the Neshoba County line there on the Philadelphia side. Highway 16, very hard to see, and a little bit there on 19, 491, all the way up to the mounds here at Nanawaya. So be careful all in that area there. That's a lot of fog just west of Preston. If you've got to travel anywhere near Neshoba County, you're going to get into it. And also southern Louisville, Winston County, and just above the north part there where Winston Academy is, where the judge is going toward, the jail is rather going toward Mississippi State, you will encounter a lot of fog this morning also. So many reasons to be careful. Now, tonight we are under a severe weather threat. This will begin for the Meridian area around 6 p.m. and last until 3 a.m. It's one of those nighttime ones. Everything that I've read does show us that the majority of the tornadic activity should remain just west of our area, right around the Mississippi-Louisiana line, right along when they're in Vicksburg and west of where the worst shall be. It doesn't mean that it cannot also still happen here. We'll watch all of that and be on top of it for you and show you everything. Again, we'll have that in just a moment. We'll break in with the forecast here from the National Weather Service in just a moment and show you all these different diagrams that they've given out dealing with tonight's weather. Flash flooding to the south of Meridian at this point. Keep our fingers crossed that this stays away from us. That's what we hope. But we'll be here regardless to walk you through it. All right, let's go out and get us a good word, something strong to get the day started here. Let's go listen to Brother Ben.
One day, Jesus' disciples tried to cast out a demon, which Jesus had commissioned them to do, and they should have been able to do it. But for some reason, try as they might, they couldn't do it. And so Jesus stepped in and immediately cast out the demon with no problem. The disciples were befuddled, though, as to why they had failed. And so they asked him, and Jesus told them plainly it was because of their lack of faith and their dependence upon God. And then he said this, "For truly I say to you, if you have faith like a grain of a mustard seed, you'll say to this mountain, 'Move from here,' and it'll move, and nothing will be impossible for you." Now, moving a mountain was a common Jewish metaphor for doing something that seemed impossible. Beloved, do you have a mountain to move? Do you have something in your life that seems impossible? Then put your faith in God and pray to God and depend on God, even faith the size of a mustard seed. And step back and watch God do the seemingly impossible. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And he's right. We do have to have faith, don't we? Brother Ben, I hope you all visit with them They'll have a service coming up tonight. It is Wednesday night. Drop in and visit with them if you need a church to go to. You'll be glad that you did and pick up a good message there. Good morning already. Wednesday, I am your friend Scotty Ray. If this is your first time visiting with us, welcome. We'll do some weather here and let you know a few of the headlines that are coming up as we'll get ready for the morning show beginning at 7 this morning. We'll live very shortly from now to fill you in on everything. All right, let's jump into our weather forecast this morning.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
We go back for our record highs and record lows. 1957, it was 84 today. Back in 1895, a record low of 6 degrees. That was, I think, about the first year they started taking this and keeping up, tracking it. Rain is expected today. We have a 40% chance of rain. This should begin right after lunchtime is what we're expecting. We'll learn more about that. As we go across that Bama line, 75 in Demopolis. Slight chances of rain as well. 78 in Selma. 72 in Fayette, Alabama. Also, we should be seeing somewhere around 71 there in Livingston, Alabama as well. 71, 72 in that area. Now, as we look at the dense fog this morning, this is what I spoke of. It's going to be worse to the south of us in the Hattiesburg area and then due north of here in the Winston County area also. Anywhere around Clark County, splitting right across Pachuta there is going to be heavier back towards southern Shibuda. And then northward across Lauderdale County, it'll be about a half a mile visibility in these areas there. It's not much, so be careful. This could be anywhere. We do have dense fog advisories to the south of us. Doesn't mean we can't have that fog here, though, so watch the school buses, leave a little bit earlier than you normally do. As we look at these storms for tonight, and this is our path of what we've got, 6 p.m. to 3 a.m. is what the National Weather Service is telling us. Now, as you can see here on their map, it's putting this yellow level 2 area, taking in just barely up to the truck stops and back west toward Newton-Jackson area. Only the counties that border Alabama are under a level 1. Could that change? It certainly could. But either way, we're looking at the worst of the weather to be somewhere between 6 p.m. and 3 a.m. Now, let's switch here and go back over to radar and take a look at this of what we've got showing on it as well. Make it a little bit more simplified as we pull up these storms. Severe outlook. All right, here we go, so you can take a look here. All right, here's the dividing line of what we've got. This is Lauderdale County as we zoom in on this, and this should cut across right here at Dunn's Falls, go up and take in Collinsville, most of or almost all of Okeechobee, and then right up into Kemper County, and then it widens back out as it goes further up north. But if you'll see here, turn these locations off, we've got widespread level 2 area from Hattiesburg back. This area right in here is what is most likely going to have the more tornadic activity. Does not mean that we can't have it here, but most of everything I've read has been having it placed right here at the state line. It can shift and it come here. It could come to the Meridian area at any given time. So we have that timeline of 6 p.m. to 3 a.m. We'll be here behind the scenes watching all of this to make sure nothing goes wrong. Should it an alarm go off, a warning, we'll be on top of this to let you know so you can get to your safe space and be all safe and all. We'll watch it very carefully. Flash flooding, they've moved this a little bit. In the beginning, they had it all throughout Lauderdale and Kemper. They've moved this further south now as we take a look. This is going to be the Laurel-Hattiesburg area. It's what we're looking at to get the worst of the weather when it comes to that. So, down in here, oh boy. Now, this is our Alabama side. Looks like 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. is what they're going to call for them in these areas here, including Demopolis and these areas joining us. Kind of broke up in several different ways there. As we look at temperatures, extremely warm right now. We knew that, didn't we? A little bit of a cool front out in California making its way this way slowly but surely. It'll eventually get to Texas and then on into Louisiana and into Mississippi. But we're above average now as we look at our 7-day forecast brought to you by our good friends out at Wilson. 74 today. Can you believe that? February. Yeah, and that's why we got thunderstorms coming. 66 tomorrow with a low 44. Now, don't forget about this rain chance today and tomorrow. 40% chance each, decreasing to a 10% on Friday. High of 64. And over the weekend, not so bad. 50 on Saturday, 59 on Sunday, but no chances of rain. And then we're back climbing into the upper 60s there by Tuesday. As we go all the way through February 22nd, you'll see here 72, 70. There is rain chances those days, and we'll take a dip into the 50s, but there is absolutely nothing that tells us that old man winter is waiting around the corner and going to put a frost on us or anything, is it? It's not there. It's going to be almost spring-like weather for the next 2 weeks. As always, we'll keep you up to date with that. Things are always subject to change with Mother Nature. She just has a way of doing that. So let's see what the fishing is going to be like today as we head over to Chet's Paint and Body. Your best major time today is going to be around 2 o'clock until 4 o'clock this afternoon, right before the storms move in. So there you go. If you want to get out and fish today, the wind's going to be southeast wind 5 to 15 with gust, and they're heavy, about 25 is what we're looking at. Boy, but that's the way it's shaping up at this point. As always, when weather threatens, be sure to keep a way of communicating that, whether it's a NOAA weather radio, your cell phone, following our page, anybody's page that does this. We want you to remain safe. We'll see you back here in just a few moments as we get ready for the 7 o'clock show. We'll be live here in just a few moments, so don't rush off. We'll be right back. Well, we'll all learn a little bit, won't we? Thanks a bunch. The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: